Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of the Your Little Castle Show. Sometimes we get some multifaceted, multi-talented people in studio. Please welcome our guest today, Maria Tabacchi. Did I say that correct?
Yes.
That is a cool name.
Italian.
Is that Italian?
It is, yes.
I like that, and I'm German, so America's a big melting pot, right?
Yes.
And so you get a little bit of everything here, St. Louis especially. So with that, we'll give a warm welcome to Maria. She is our guest today to talk a little bit about her expertise. She's got a couple specialties, but building, constructing, making sure people have a nice, safe place to live, that's an exciting thing to be in charge of for helping so many families in our area.
Yes, it is.
Tell us how you got into this.
So I actually have been a full-time realtor for 22 years. My mother started when I was 4, and she's still licensed, and my brother's licensed as well. So the whole family's in real estate. When we would go to houses, people would ask, what do I need to get my house ready to sell? And so I would give them a list. We'd walk room by room and tell them everything that they needed to do to get the house ready to go to market.
Well, that's important, because if you don't have everything ready to go to market, then there might be some issues there. And I tell you, there's a specific advantage I think it's pretty important that it's obvious you have, and that is being somebody who could help somebody buy and sell their house, and then also being somebody who can say, hey, we can also get it done for you, or we can give you the right reference. So not just to make the most money off you because I'm the construction guy, and that's the only way I make money.
Right.
I want to give it to you for a good value, so it helps you to sell the house.
Correct.
Big advantage you have there.
Correct.
Talk a little bit about that.
So when I opened Hammers and Nails Contracting, I decided that because I was spending so much time working with the client to help them get the house ready to sell, they would always ask, as soon as I gave them the list, okay, we need to do this. Do you have somebody for it? That was the next question all the time. Well, yes, of course we have somebody. So we would put them in touch, and then they would ask, what do you think we should put in the house? And I would be telling them, we could do this or we could do that. I was spending so much time doing that. By the time it hit the market, it was up and gone, sold. So I spent more time helping them get the house ready than I actually had to when selling it. So
it worked out well. It's convenient. Yeah, that's why I say there's a lot of people I know that being somebody who's been involved in the real estate world for a while now and helping with marketing. And now I'm a licensed mortgage broker, agent, as they say. We deal with a lot of times. There's always the construction guy is the right-hand man for the realtors. They've got to have, this has got to get fixed. This has got to get done.
Correct.
We better get some stuff in here to get this house in order, or else we're not going to sell it. Or we're going to take a big hit, or they're not going to buy it based on whatever it might be an issue with.
Exactly.
Important. All right, let me jump in and say a little bit about our sponsors here. Taking a look behind us here, everybody. Our TV wall, Carroll House Furniture. How many houses do you think you've sold or
I personally got my furniture from them.
Did you? Okay. But if you're going to get a house, you're going to use Carroll House Furniture, most likely here in St. Louis. It's just, it seems to be the place everybody goes. And then, of course, we already talked a little bit about it. Our other big sponsor here is USA Mortgage. We've got a new title slidings here that now it's powered by the Flowers team. You can kind of see that up there behind me. And so take a look there as I lean over a little bit. You can see Flowers behind that. But Steve Flowers, Emily Flowers, we just finished another loan the other day with somebody we've been working with for a while. And I mean, getting somebody into a mortgage, that's a key element for what you've got going on your side of the world too. Let me go ahead and put up on the wall behind us, and this is where you send everybody. You've got a nice looking Facebook page with a lot of good results there. It kind of ties it in there. There's the owner, who is also a realtor, Hammers and Nails Contracting, LLC.
Correct.
And now you're into this.
Yes.
Tell us, how is this working out?
It's working great.
I want to know more.
A little too well, actually, because it started with just kind of doing the checklists when the inspectors go through and things like that, making sure that the house was ready to sell, and then anything little that came up we started fixing. Now it's full remodels and all kinds of stuff. And then we kind of branched off 3 years ago and started installing Christmas lights. And so that keeps us insanely busy through from October through November.
Okay.
So we are fully booked this year.
Can't do any more this year.
We cannot do any more.
We're not even through Thanksgiving yet.
Right.
You're already sold out.
Correct. So
that's worked out nicely.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the whole construction piece. I mean, is this for you? Has got to be satisfying, because now you're not losing these deals. You're able to make sure that somebody definitely does have the everything that they need done in a proper fashion.
Correct.
Tell us, where this is going.
So hopefully the goal obviously is to continue on. Real estate is number one. The hammers and nails, for the most part, the contractors that I deal with are amazing. These guys are very meticulous, and I'm very particular. And I think that has a little bit of an advantage. When people call me, I think they realize they're dealing with a female, and females a lot of times will be a little more particular and also a little more empathetic to people. So I think that helps.
Yeah, well, I mean, just getting somebody in there to make sure that the asset that is the most valuable thing that most people will own is put in order. I mean, I've seen big problems, especially when we start getting into foundations and those kinds of issues.
Correct.
Wow, you end up, oh, yeah, your house is worth $240,000, but we got a $60,000 repair to do on your foundation.
Right.
Those kinds of things. Do you run into that kind of stuff? And
We
now,
do.
now because you've got complete control over the whole situation, that really helps you.
Yep, we do. And we have great sister companies that we work with, and they are excellent as well as far as doing any kind of major repairs as far as foundation and things like that.
Okay. Well, you talked about a little bit how you got into this. Give me some more depth about, you start off as a realtor. At what point did this come in together to where you really said, we got to integrate this too? I'm taking control of this too. Not too many realtors do I know have said, obviously this is a great match, and you decided to go with that.
It just made sense. It made sense that I was spending time doing that and helping the clients, so I should get paid for this because it made sense. If you're spending that much time doing something to help them sell their house, it worked out really well. And I had all the contacts for them. I had everything. And then it was, what should we put in here? And so I'm picking out their materials. I mean, I was doing the job of a general contractor and not getting paid. So
how long now has that been the way you've operated? How long has this business been?
it's I've been in business 5 years, and the last couple of years it's really skyrocketed. We are actually booked out several months. We're already into next year for bookings, but we have several jobs going on right now too as well. So,
well, tell me then a little bit, what is it that you do that really fuels your passion? I mean, when it comes down to it, this is a very rewarding field to be in. As somebody knowing, been involved with years ago, mortgage companies who no longer are around that I could name everybody was familiar with. But really, I mean, you're getting somebody to where they're going to raise their kids. They're going to bring up their family. They're going to spend most of their time when they're not at work or running around the neighborhood, but when they pick in that neighborhood. Talk about what's that? Is that, and especially, it's just unique. I've talked to a few realtors before, but we've never been able to talk to them about. So what's it like to actually get the house fixed for them, to put it in place, to make all the arrangements for them?
it's really nice. It's a very rewarding feeling because you can see when people are happy that what their vision came to life. And so that's when it's really exciting for me, because they're happy, they see the finished product, and it's what they wanted. So,
and there's not so much discussion then to argue about, well, let me go get the contractor and I'll tell them, and who are you working with and what should we do here? And I guess this is something we'll get fixed. But wait a minute, what are you going to do? You think they're going to do it? No, we think these guys should do it. You've got that all under control now. I guess it's got to be a big relief for anybody buying a house.
I'm basically like a liaison between them and the worker, and I've got control of everything. So it helps. They can call me if they have any problems. I go ahead and get in touch with whoever's on their job, and we get it taken care of. If there's something that needs to be changed or addressed,
you're in control.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, you've covered a lot of the important things. Let's take a look here. You've got some reviews already that look pretty dynamite. I'm going to bring these up on the wall behind us for everybody to take a look at. Make sure I got the right page. Did we close one of our tabs? I don't see it.
Oh, it's to the left.
Is it?
Yes, there.
Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, it is up. It's on the screen already. I got to bring you back to the main page, but the header is the same, so we're okay. But yeah, I'll just put this up on the wall for everybody. So take a look here, and if I press our desktop button, you can see there. I'm going to pick off your first review right off the top there. You've got so far 5.0 average, pretty good. While the words out of everyone's mouth, the first words out of everyone's mouth when they saw the amazing kitchen transformation, all thanks to Maria and her team. This was the biggest project I've ever done. It was almost seamless from start to finish. From Maria's design and material suggestions to skills for the contractors who made it all happen. A little more there from Kathy there. So you worked with Kathy. What was it like? What was it like having this job for her? She's obviously pretty happy.
Yeah. So Kathy didn't want to remodel the whole kitchen. She just wanted to go in and brighten it up. She had the wood, oak cabinets. She felt it was just very orange in there, and she wanted to get more life to it. So we brought in one of our cabinet painters who's phenomenal. and he went ahead and took care of the cabinets, and then we put some crown on top of them and put in new granite, and it just changed the entire look of the kitchen. And then put a beautiful backsplash in and under cabinet lighting.
Well, I'm going to go to a wide shot here, something I didn't even warn everybody I was going to do here, but some good work. Here's a little bit of some of your examples. Here's these Christmas lights going up. And I tell you, when that's pretty neat. And you got all the very professional looking there. So that's the time of year you've got going on here. You've got some of your past work here too. Can I pull up a couple, please? Look at that. Wow. This is like the Taj Mahal here, everybody. If you're going to get a bathroom done, look at this one. There's some of this work right here. Wow. So this is, and I guess you have another big advantage that we didn't really. I mean, we kind of covered it a little bit, but by virtue of being in the, how long have you been a realtor now, too?
22 years.
So 22 years as a realtor. So that means you were 17 years of getting to know the right people to work within the industry. And then you said, here's the guys I know and trust. Here's the ones that I can get here to do the job.
Correct.
And you get to see the work they're doing. And so you're bringing them in. This is genius. This is one of the smartest moves I've seen done business-wise in a while. Talk about, I mean, when you've worked on these relationships so you can get work done that looks this good. I'm going to put this on the screen for everybody to take a look at too. But there's the finished product for one of the bathrooms. Where's that house located?
That's actually in Fenton.
Is it? Okay. I grew up in Fenton. So that Bowles 141 area?
That's off of Romaine Springs.
Romaine Springs, okay, yep.
Romaine Creek, something like that.
In that area, yeah. That's a great location.
Kathy's Kitchen's actually on there too.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Should we pull that up?
You should.
All right, let's take a look here. I'm going to put that up for everybody. But talk a little bit, how do you get, do you get real estate clients that lead to the construction, or do you have construction that lead to the real estate? I guess the first.
Both.
Is it? Okay.
It's both industries are very referral based, and when someone's happy, that first bathroom that you showed there, that one was a referral from a happy client that we redid their bathroom on. So.
Okay, tell me what's yours. I scroll down.
So actually up there, that one right there is the top one where it's the white kitchen.
This one? Okay.
Right, to the right there. Up.
This one right here?
Yes, that is Kathy's.
Okay.
So that's Kathy's kitchen now versus what it looked like before. And the after was just so.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you've got that beautiful marble. You've got everything there that anybody ever dream of. And it just I like the white cabinets, man. Those look crisp. And that looks like I said, if you've got, everybody would like to have a kitchen that looks like that. How much was the overall value of the house? How much did it increase the value for you to do this work?
That actually was minimal, and that increased the value probably by $30,000.
$30,000.
Yes.
And when you say minimal, can you throw a number out? What the cost was? I guess that's something.
It was under $10,000.
Under $10,000, so they're making an extra $20,000, and he's probably still made a few bucks for doing it like any other constructions. But you're not sticking it to him saying, "I got to make my $20,000 because on the other end of this, I'm going to sell this house for them."
Exactly.
Or they buy.
You build a relationship, and then if they don't buy or sell, they refer you to somebody else who does, or somebody who needs contracting work done.
Okay. Well, you've got quite the operation here. I say it's all working well together. Tell me that. I guess this is one of the key things. You might argue that. What is it that really sets your business apart? If you say there's one thing that really sets it apart, we already hit on it. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I am a female-run business in a very predominantly male industry. As far as contracting goes, it's definitely more men in the business, and it's sometimes difficult being the female. So.
The boss who has to step in and say, "Hey, everybody, nice, but we need this." And get that female's perspective on the way this should get the guy that comes in here and saying, "Let's just throw it together. Here's what we need."
Exactly.
we get that second opinion. Okay, how often is it you come in? I mean, what percentage of the houses would you say you come in and you have to do some work for them?
I would say it's probably 60-40. 60% of people, once we go in and see their house, and I express to them that I can do whatever they need done, most of them usually call and say yes. If they need something done, they go through us. So
yeah, as I say, because
it just makes it's like one-stop shopping.
Right. Yeah, that's why I say you've got the solution right in front of them. There's no, well, let me go. It speed up the process for everybody.
Exactly.
All right. Tell me, what's one challenge you've dealt with in this whole process? There's a lot that can go wrong, and I would assume, like anything, there's going to be things that you've got to address and problems that come up, or a pipe they didn't realize was somewhere else that they came out of a different part of the house. Like, wait a minute, that's in the way. Now we got to build around it.
Older houses are definitely ones to watch out for because you just never know what's behind a wall. Right. So, but other than that, I mean, just honestly, the biggest challenge is really just being a female in this industry. That really is a challenge because you're dealing with, you know, a lot men who are used to dealing with men. They're not used to dealing with women on their job.
Interesting. And I guess that's why I say another slant on the same thing we were talking about. You've got the advantage from the female perspective on making sure that it looks pretty, but you also how to deal with things to get it done.
Correct.
And add that in. I'm fortunate to have a mother who is very much of a powerhouse. They've named the building after her, and she's still, my dad used to joke, that's why some kid made fun of her and said, that's why, who would name a building after you? And he said, that's why you're supposed to be dead before they name a building after you. But she earned it a long time. John Goodman flew in for that. We talk about that period. She taught John Goodman drama in high school at Afton. But, I mean, I understand that. And I was raised by a mother, obviously, was predominant and got it done. My dad did real well, too. But I can see now you're the kind of a leader type to make sure that these things get done. And I guess that's what you kind of have to be because you're going into that world of construction contractors. Talk about that a little bit.
So it's when I come in, I'm going to go ahead and basically talk with the client and find out exactly what they're looking for. And for the most part, we talk about their budget because it's very important. And we make sure we stay within that budget. If it can't be done, we're honest with them. This cannot be done for this budget. But otherwise, we make sure that when we leave, that our client is extremely happy.
And do you feel like they often trust you more because they're saying, the guys are always the ones making sales. They're out there. They're the sales guy. But say, this is a lady. She's not leading me that path. And because there's often a lady on the other end who has to make they call the lady often they're the decision maker, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you got a girl talking to a girl, a lady talking to a lady, then it's not so much of that. What are they really trying to get away with here?
Right. Okay. I think that definitely helps. But I also think that having a good reputation in this business is huge. And, our family's been in the real estate industry for a long time. So I think that definitely helps. But yeah.
Okay. So tell me, of all the things that give you the most satisfaction when the day is done, tell me, I can imagine because you get the whole thing you get to do here. What do you enjoy most?
When I get the good reviews, that actually is one of my most favorite things because I can feel the happiness that I brought somebody else. And that when I see that they're extremely happy because of something I did, that just really, I don't know, it makes me feel great.
Yeah, well, that's where these days reviews are vital. If you don't get your reviews in order, there's a lot of people, that's how they judge it. And you've already got a long list of reviews going over there. And we're going to have you back on the show to talk about the real estate side of the world, too. All right, well, we often bring a little bit extra to the show. And when you're doing good work like you are in the community, that's when we put on the Cardinal Cowboy hat. And for the people that have become leaders like yourself, wow, I'm just impressed. I met you a few weeks ago through a friend, and we were talking, and I was like, this gal, she's on the ball, man. And then you said, I'm a real estate agent, and I own a contracting company. I'm like, holy cow, she's like really on the ball, running this thing from top to bottom. As a matter of somebody who's in the community, we want to give you the kudos. So we're going to give you our prize belt. And you don't have to put this on live in studio here, but as a community leader, it is our honor to name you as a Cardinal Cowboy community leader. So you're welcome to that. If you like, you just set over your shoulder for a second, and then we'll get a shot of you with that on there. That is the Cardinal Cowboy community leader belt, and you can see, there you go, Maria with that on. I'll go ahead and I'll even take down the title. So there you go. You can see, there's the belt, everybody. She's doing a great job, and these are the kinds of leaders that we want in our community because, boy, it is tough to find people that can put it all together on all sides. And I guess it didn't even really hit me as much when I brought John, because we talked about real estate and then we talked about contracting. And I started thinking, she's got a big advantage here because there's no outsourcing. She can get it all done. And I know that is one of the biggest problems. The first thing they do is say, well, you got to get this fixed and I need that fixed and I want to make sure this is done. And then they go, now go find somebody or we'll recommend someone to you.
And a lot of times,
and when you can put it all together for them,
they don't call people back. We call everybody back. We get in touch with people, or if we go out and we offer a bid, we go ahead and we honor our bids. We come back. We don't just go take a look at the house or property and never bid.
Right. Well, and that's the key to this is getting this done. Again, the most valuable asset the most anybody is going to take on in their lifetime, and it's just important to get this thing taken care of in a professional way because, boy, these days, the whole market with regard to real estate has just gone crazy.
It has.
And it's gone up and down, and everybody was giving houses away, per se, with regard to interest rate, but the prices were going off the charts in terms of
Crazy.
and so the monthly payment may not be so much for this $400,000-$500,000
Right.
house, and now all of a sudden they're going, oh, now it's 7%.
Right.
8%.
Which hopefully somebody works on that. Hopefully they do some finagling. So
Yeah, well, I mean, what is the best answer for some people? Now, give somebody on the real estate side a little bit. I'll take the belt off.
Okay, it's heavy.
It is. This is a real belt, everybody. I'll change the mic. There we go.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It's a real belt, but we'll get a picture with you on. Put that on too. But so how does that tie into what you're doing here now? Because now you've got not just, I think it's gonna. I'm gonna set it on the ground. But now you've got both sides of that you deal with. How do interest rates impact this when somebody's going to get a house done and they're saying, I got to get this remodeling done, these updates done, these things fixed before this house goes to sell? How does that work into the equation? And
So-
that's something you can help with.
with the interest rates, there are programs and options out there, and actually my sister-in-law is a loan officer as well as you.
Right.
So it definitely helps when you have people that can sit down with the client and talk to them, because there are programs, there are buy down points and things like that, so you can get a better interest rate. So there are options out there, but I just don't think a lot of people know about them unless they're dealing with somebody who's been in the business.
Well, and that is something that is, I guess, like I said, when you've got the whole equation, but it just keeps getting more and more complex.
I know.
It compounds on itself because you've got, it's difficult enough when you've got to deal with the fact that you've got a house and some work that needs to be done. A house and some work that needs to be done, and the interest rates that are going up all over the place. And then trying to find houses. Is another caveat that you bring to this that can help people a lot more often than others is that, hey, we need to get this house done, but we're not sure how to do it. It's hard to find houses. We want to get our house on the market. Now you really help them get it on the market. And that's where you bring in some of that other expertise to say, we're going to bring it on the market, but we're not going to stick it to you, back to what we're saying.
Exactly.
And so you can get people into the houses a lot more easily and so they can get their house on the market, where they
Exactly.
otherwise might have trouble doing that because they got to go, okay, I'll call you back when I get all these things done. Same situation, except
Exactly. This kind of solidifies the relationship, because they may have called me as a referral from someone else, and when I went over, of course, they ask again, what do we need to do? I give them a list. Do you have somebody? Yes, I do. So once they go ahead and they say, okay, well, if you can do that all, that's great, and they see that the work was done, it was quality work, and it was affordable, they call and they say, well, we definitely want to use you as our realtor. So it kind of just, like I said, just solidifies that relationship. So
how often do you deal with a situation where that's the contention? And is this something that gets debated between the husband and the wife? And because
sometimes it does. A lot of times I think that when I sit down with them and I explain everything and tell them that I've been doing this for how long and that my entire family does, I think that definitely makes a difference. So because, it's like an auto mechanic whose father was an auto mechanic. It just comes natural.
Well, again, so important. Tell me, how do you feel like you most contribute to the community? I guess that's pretty easy to talk about with regard to what you do, because now you're really getting to help put somebody into their house.
Yes.
Something they're going to have and enjoy for sometimes 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Yes, and I love going back to houses and seeing how they've changed, or if they've decorated, or what they've, if they have done any modifications, what it looks like over time. It's really rewarding to see their kids growing up in the houses, and when you first met them, they were babies, and now they're teenagers. It's crazy.
Well, tell us, you've been in St. Louis for a long time. What do you appreciate most about St. Louis? Are there favorite parts of St. Louis that you think are the best for ownership of a house? Best, where would be the secret location in St. Louis that you would tell somebody? I know St. Charles is really taking off.
Everywhere.
People are going out to Warrenton now. Talk a little bit about
Everywhere.
your favorite. What do you like most about St. Louis?
Gosh, there's so many things. I think I like the diversity of St. Louis. I think there's a lot of different things. There's something to always do. And the people. I really, really like the people. I think we're all terrible drivers, but I definitely like the people. It's just, I like St. Louis. It's very comfortable. I, born and raised here, so.
So tell everybody, what part of St. Louis did you grow up in?
I grew up in Spanish Lake, and I used to love going to the pipe fitters and to the parks to go fishing or ride my bike. And then I moved to Florissant, and now I'm living out in St. Charles County. So
all over the northwest part of St. Louis,
Oh, yeah.
You know it well. But you service all of St. Louis? Do you do
Yes.
work in Illinois too?
we do not do work in Illinois, but we have some amazing agents that we can refer to over in Illinois.
Awesome. And when it comes down to what you do to really contribute, how do you feel like, is it more of a contribution on your side? Do you enjoy the construction part better, or selling them the house and getting them into a house that they know is right for them? Or is it just really the combination of the two? I mean, when you get to put all of that together, it's got to be pretty rewarding.
When I get to put it all together, but honestly, I would say the happiest moment for everybody is either the closing of a house or the closing on the purchase. The closing of a sale or the closing of a purchase. It just seems like that's the happiest time for a lot of people. So to be there with them and enjoy that with them, it's great. It's a great feeling because they're either letting go of their past and they're moving on, or they're starting a new future. So,
well, it seems to me that would be extra rewarding for you because and not to take anything away, as a mortgage guy on occasion, right? Helping people, they get this house and they're pretty excited about it. And now they've got a beautiful place to live and we help them finance it. That's an important piece.
Exactly.
But when you've got to be the real estate agent and you know about that closet that was not fit correctly and had to put some double doors up on some other side of the house and the basement was a mess, all of those things, you get to just point to those things as the realtor, but now having your company, I mean, when you talk about hammers and nails, that's a cool name. You really get to dig in and say, man, I didn't just help them get the house. I helped them get into that house and get it to the way they really wanted it to make it best for them.
Yes.
Is there more to it? Did you feel, I guess I'm asking, did you get more of a sense of satisfaction when you added the hammers and nails to the whole?
I think so, for sure, because I think it helps because it's like I get to use my ideas, and sometimes that's the part that the homeowners are a little worried, like, oh, how's that going to look, because they can't envision it. Meanwhile, I like to take some risks and try different things, and it turns out just gorgeous. So,
all right. Well, somebody who gets to be in control of the whole picture, somebody that's done a great job on all sides of that. We're just really happy and excited to have. We've had a number of guests on the show that have done some exciting things, but when we're really getting to look at what you are bringing to the table, it's pretty neat because. Again, most people, they've got their focus and they want to stay on their little piece that they've got right here. Mm-hmm. But when you've got a way to meld, I mean, are you like long-term like the Donald Trump of St. Louis?
Maybe.
How is this going to emerge to where you might build your empire? Or are you thinking about expanding beyond here?
Yes, I am. I actually have a sister company that I just opened. That we haven't talked about. I'm springing this on you.
Oh, okay.
But I did just open a sister company to Hammers and Nails that we will be able to be installing trim light, which is
let's talk about it in our next show.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. You're awesome. That is awesome. We appreciate you guys